I, Horst Shirdel, graduated from the Kiev Medical Institute and then from the Russian Neurosurgical Institute in St. Petersburg. I'd like to tell you about my findings in various fields of medicine. The purpose of this message is to attract the attention of those who are not indifferent to the fate of science and people. Even when a child, driven by some impulse, he took interest in medicine and oncology in particular. Upon a 12-year research, there have been developed new theoretical grounds for causes of oncologic pathologies and, consequently, their detection. First and foremost, it was discovered that cancer is not limited solely by physiology of a cell. Any cell makes just a tiny component factor of the organism's macrosystem, and without participation of the latter cannot cause cancer. Successful results achieved in the course of cancer treatment have ultimately confirmed the scientific validity of the theory in question, which can be proved by the supplied case studies. The information gathered during the 12-year research has allowed to approach the unveiling of mysteries of numerous previously incurable diseases, such as hypertension, ischemic heart disease, all systemic pathologies, including rheumatism, rheumatic polyarthritis, systemic scleroderma, systemic lupus erythematosus, dermatomyosite, disseminated sclerosis, glomerular nephrite, and many others. Even acquired heart troubles can be successfully cured with a new method of treatment. Hundreds of hopelessly sick in the course of treatment began to get rid of the above-mentioned pathologies, which is evidenced by them below. All this was followed by treatment of AIDS. AIDS is really a syndrome of acquired immune deficiency, but it is not a virus etiology. The discovery of a virus in a human body completely rid of immunity provides no grounds whatsoever for being awarded the Nobel Prize. Any person, even without a medical qualification, can guess that in a human body totally rid of immunity, one can discover not only a virus, but also bacteria, fungi, and parasites. AIDS develops resulting from deficiency of one factor necessary to complete the final stage of the humoral protection. Any reduction or absence of this factor takes place at the peak of evolution of the complex pathological process. The factor responsible for the final stage of the humoral protection is known, and its implementation as the main element in the complex therapy of AIDS patients results in complete elimination of AIDS as a state of immune deficiency. In 1996, in order to prove the method's effectiveness, it was used for treatment of an AIDS patient. As confirmed by the documents, the patient was completely rid of the pathology. At present, 6 years after the course of treatment, the patient doesn't feel any worse than ordinary people, suffers from no particular diseases, and leads an active way of life. Therefore, the problems of cancer, AIDS, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, systemic pathologies have all actually been solved and pose no objective threat to humanity. When will the well-proven by experience theory be put into practice depends on the will of people whose eyes are narrowly focused on Washington or London and not on a provincial town in Ukraine. In conclusion, it is necessary to emphasize that all methods suggested by Dr. Shirdel have nothing to do with non-traditional medicine, and all medicines applied for treatment are registered in the ministries of healthcare of most countries in the world. Cancer treatment. In summer 2000, patient N, 12 years of age, was treated in the Institute of Oncology with the diagnosis carcinoma of the left adenoid tonsil, 4th degree. Metastasis penetrated the lymph glands, the lungs, the liver, and the brain. Upon an unsuccessful operation, the patient was discharged home. The parents of the child applied to Dr. Shirdel. After all vain attempts of scientists in leading countries to solve the problem of cancer, no one believed that it was possible to achieve such results in this remote part of the world. Surprising as it were, the new theory of development and, consequently, treatment of cancer, this most mysterious disease of all times, proved its feasibility, and the malignant tumor started shrinking day after day. Simultaneously, with the shrinking of the tumor, focal metastasis began disappearing too. The whole process of treatment, from beginning to end, was filmed on a video and aroused astonishment among oncologists, but no more. This case has been followed by dozens of successful cancer treatments on various stages. In August 2000, I applied to the Mammography Center under the Institute of Oncology in Lomonosova Street, Kiev, for prophylactic reasons, as I am 45, and I had been advised by my physician that at the age of 45 and more, it is necessary to apply to a mammographer and have my breasts x-rayed. Upon getting the results, it was discovered that my left breast was affected. There was a tumor size 1.5 times 2.5 centimeters, and the preliminary diagnosis was cancer of the left breast. Upon this diagnosis, I, gripped by despair, applied to Dr. Shirdel. I took a course of treatment that lasted exactly 50 days. Upon completion, I went to the same Institute of Oncology, had a repeated ultrasonic test and mammography made, which showed that the tumor had disappeared. I am very grateful to Dr. Shirdel. I have recovered, I am in high spirits, and I have 2 breasts. Case Study 3. A patient with a long unhealed skin wound on his chin after numerous attempts of unsuccessful treatment applied to Dr. Shirdel. Biopsy revealed hyperplasia of skin cells with anabrosis. Current medical practice in such cases recommend operational removal of the injured skin with the following transplantation and chemical and radiotherapy. As it is seen in the video, upon a month-long course of treatment, the skin hyperplasia was completely eliminated. Vitalik, how long ago did you have the ulcer here? About 2 years. Hypertension, ischemic heart disease. I have been ill for over 25 years. For 25 to 26 years have suffered heart problems. I had had heart surgery and not long ago was advised to have another operation. I suffered from very high blood pressure, arrhythmia, and pain everywhere. I took a course of treatment and now I feel normal. No more arrhythmia. Normal blood pressure. I used to have 180 by 113, 170 by 110, 190 by 120. And now, for nearly 2 weeks, I have been having 120 by 80, 115 by 75. Do you take any medicines to lower your blood pressure? None, except those medicines that I got here, those given by the doctor. They say that the age of 40 is only the beginning of your life, and I have already got lots of diseases. I have problems with the heart, nerves, and constantly high blood pressure, 150 by 110, sometimes 170 by 120. These reasons made me apply to the doctor for help. The heart function has improved, the pressure has normalized, fatigue has disappeared, no more headaches. I sleep quietly and fast. Tell me, please, how about your blood pressure? 120 by 80. I feel much better and younger than I was. At the time of enrollment, I felt very bad. Hypertension, ischemic heart disease, stenocardia. Now, after a month-long treatment, everything has changed. I feel normal. Thanks a lot. What blood pressure did you have when you arrived? What medicines did you take? And what is your current blood pressure? And what medicines do you keep taking? I don't take any medicines now, but then I took Cardoplex daily and atenolol. No, I don't take anything. And what were your blood pressure figures at that time? Different. Sometimes it exceeded 200, and now, and what are your current blood pressure figures? Within what limits? Well, about 150 to 140, something around that. For me, it's a working pressure. When I was at home, I took ethimolol, during heartaches, nitroglycerin, all like that. Do you suffer from heartaches now? Yes, a little, rarely. Now it's quite different than it was. I got to the doctor with hypertension of 2 degrees, ischemic heart disease. After a 30-day treatment, I feel well. No fatigue and heartaches have stopped. My blood pressure now is stable, around 130 to 125 to 120. I feel well even after physical exercises. For a month, I have been treated for headaches and high blood pressure. The results are obvious to me. My headaches have ceased. The pressure has become normal. Now I am feeling wonderful. The treatment I have received satisfies me perfectly. I have noted improvement in treating diabetes and hypertension, heart failure, heart-based asthma, dyspnea. At present, I have given up all medicines as I can do without them. My pressure has stabilized at 140 by 90. My knees and arms were swollen. Now you can see for yourselves that the swelling of the arm has disappeared. All my fingers can move freely. My blood pressure was too high. It reached up to 240. I suffered from hypertension for about 30 years. I tried various available medicines. It's difficult to say which medicines I didn't use. I started with lighter ones and ended with more serious. I have been treated by the doctor for a month. What can I say? It's been about a week since I gave up all medicines. Now I don't take anything. Well, in the morning I get up with the pressure without taking any tablets, of about 160 by 90. During the daytime it falls for some reason to 130 by 80. So far I am feeling normal. I have just come from the fitness room even though I was not allowed to exercise there. So I consider that the result is, naturally, obvious. You can't say that there is none. There is something else I noticed. Somewhere about 2 weeks after the treatment, when I came home, I suddenly discovered that I started feeling the effect of the lightest medicines, which never had helped me before. A tablet of Papazol, for instance, seriously lowered my pressure, whereas before I wouldn't even have tried it. I hardly felt any effect of it. So I thanked the doctor. I have been unwell for about 20 years. Diabetes, hypertension, consequently ischemic heart disease, and last April I suffered a hypertensive crisis. My heart was very bad. I was examined in the Strastenko Institute. They recommended to take a course of treatment in the Amosov Institute. In the Amosov Institute, I received some help, but didn't get any better. On the 29th, I went to the diagnostic center in Simferopol, where they said I should be operated on. At once, I packed my things and came here to Dr. Shirdel's clinical hospital on June 3rd. Since June 3rd to present, my blood pressure has stabilized. The sugar level is stable. The pressure is normal, although periodically it fluctuates from 130 by 80 to 130 by 90, without exceeding these limits. For about 4 weeks I haven't been taking any tablets for pressure or heart troubles. But the most important is that my heart allows me today to exercise. In particular, just to remind, last night when I walked about the Alexandria Park, that's almost 3 hours of continuous walking. Pretty fast, too. Absolutely no fatigue. Not even any rigidity of leg muscles. Quiet, even breath. No unpleasant processes to speak of. This means that currently my body is set for active living with high working capacity. That's the outcome of all this continuous treatment. Instead of operational surgery, stable physical loads allowing to enhance working capacity and escape taking any medicines. For the last 10 or even 15 years, I have suffered from hypertension, heart tachycardia, kidneys, in general a whole bunch of diseases I had. No matter where I applied for treatment, including abroad, I was treated in Germany, in Hungary, but I didn't achieve any definite results. The results I wanted to get. My last treatment I finished in Budapest on March 28, 2002. I took a course of treatment in very respectable clinics, including one American clinic. Judging by medical tests, everything was fine, but my health was terrible, abominable. I couldn't make a walk of 100 to 150 meters. I was continuously haunted by irrational fear. Fear of open space, for instance. This, by the way, caused strong fits of tachycardia, giddiness, pre-syncope states. Upon my application to this clinic, I took a complete course of treatment, that is 40 full days, and here you go. As a result, I feel wonderful, really wonderful. My blood pressure has normalized. Now, it's 120 by 80, 130 by 90. At first, the fit started at night. I had 140 heartbeats a minute and high blood pressure. Then they acquired such more prolonged character that I couldn't leave my home. All I could do was to lie in bed. I was bedridden. I felt hot all over. I felt no strength left in me. My temperature was 34 degrees Celsius. Today is the 23rd day of treatment. Yes, I obviously feel better. I regained appetite. I put on 3 kilograms of weight. My complexion is better, and in general I feel better both at the daytime and sleep better. My blood pressure has normalized. Now it's within 115 by 75 and 110 by 70. I was flying like a bee, and then suddenly hypertension, blood pressure 240, and I got paralyzed. And my head seemed to have lost control of my movements. Now my head has cleared. There are periods when I feel absolutely no noise at all, during which I can walk. When I arrived, my neighbor held me by the arm. Now I have already walked to fetch some water. Physical load. My heart has started working under loads. When at home I tried to walk, you know. I couldn't walk across the yard. Blood hammered in my head. Heart seemed to get tired. I had to find some place to sit down. Now I have acquired a kind of freedom. And your blood pressure, what are the current figures? Now? Yes, only 130 by 80. Today, 135 by 95. Tell me, please, do you take any medicine from high blood pressure now? No, I don't. None. How long have you been without medicine? When I got here, my pressure stabilized. Thank goodness. My illness began 3 years ago. I had extrasystolia. I was treated in hospital several times. Nothing helped. Even my physician told me, "That's all, Valya. You will live with this diagnosis till the end of your days." I came to you, to Dr. Shirdel's hospital. You helped me. I took a course of treatment here. I have recovered. My cardiogram is good. I'm fine. I feel much better. I have regained strength, energy. I can walk upstairs to the 4th floor without stopping, without anything. I feel very well. I used to have dyspnea. Now none of it is left in the least. No dyspnea at all. I work in the garden. Thank you so much. High blood pressure and simultaneous headaches, very strong, and heartaches followed. After coming here, I feel, how to put it, very well. High blood pressure, 200 by 120. I suffered hemorrhage. My blood pressure at the time was about 240, and I, to tell frankly, didn't expect the results achieved here. Nowadays, my blood pressure has lowered, practically by 30 millimeters, and currently is about 160 by 90, and it was 200 by 120. My state of health has improved. I feel much easier and more vigorous than I was at the beginning of the treatment. Now I practically take no medicines, and my pressure is 160 by 90. That is the stable pressure of my body.
Я чувствую себя значительно бодрее и легче, чем было в начале лечения. Сейчас я практически никаких таблеток не принимаю. И мое давление 160 на 90 – это уже давление, которое установилось в моем организме.
In 1985, I had a diagnosis of the ischemic heart disease. I was examined and treated in the Strashesko Institute. Suffered stenocardial fits, especially at night. I couldn't go out without nitroglycerin, without vasodilators, and a syringe. When I had to call ambulance, I took 3 to 4 tablets of nitroglycerin, but they couldn't relieve me from fits of stenocardia. I was offered to be operated on, coronary shunting, but one day, it happened 2 years ago, by will of fate, I met Dr. Shirdel. As a result, a week after the treatment began, I gave up all vasodilating medicines. For almost 2 years following the course of treatment, I haven't taken any vasodilators. In summer, I jog 2 to 3 kilometers daily, and now I feel quite capable to work. Diabetes. I have been ill with diabetes for about 3 years. When I arrived here, my sugar level was 13.8. Upon completing a course of treatment, that's about 1 month, the sugar level lowered to 7.6. Now I feel fine. I have been ill with diabetes for about 7 to 8 years. During this period, I took many courses of treatment in sanatoriums, in Truskavets, and Mirhorod. I felt some temporary improvements there, but they weren't complete, I reckon. Now I have completed a full course of treatment here. I reckon that I got rid of all symptoms that I suffered from. That is, mainly high blood pressure, pain in my legs, pain in my joints. My fingers were constantly swollen and it burnt. Now I feel that I have almost completely recovered. I feel well, and my blood pressure is normal, 130 by 80. Tell me, please, do you take any medicine for blood pressure now? From blood pressure I take nothing, no medicine. I take no medicine and I feel that I don't need them. 2 years ago, my sugar level rose too high and tablets didn't help anymore. I switched to insulin, but the level never got down. Neither with insulin nor before it. My eyesight gradually got weaker. I had a few laser operations, but only got totally blind. When I arrived here, my sugar level was 44 points. I had to inject insulin 4 times a day. Now the dose reduced practically by half. The hemorrhage stopped. Various groomes, hematomes dissolve in front of my eyes. At last, I see this very well. My health has improved. The permanent fatigue I used to feel, that is, tiredness, has disappeared. The pain in my legs has stopped, and my vitality has risen. So, I have been here for 30 days and feel much better. My state of health is good. I feel full of energy. Even jog in the morning. My legs are much better. Practically, when there is no heavy exercise, they are in good condition. My dyspnea has disappeared. I want to add, my husband was treated here before me, and that is why I got here. By the way, he was very pleased with the treatment. He is ill with diabetes, and now, since he finished his treatment, perhaps 3 weeks have passed, isn't it? Probably 3 weeks, maybe about a month. He is feeling wonderful, really wonderful. Upon arrival here, his sugar level was 14. Now it is 7.3, even after exercise. He has got thinner, has lively appearance, is pleased with life, and feels wonderful.
Болею диабетом с 1987 года. В 2002 году в связи с патологией сосудов начались неприятные явления, как то появление язв, долго не заживающих, лопнул сосуд на бедре, появилась гематома, загноилась, и ее пришлось оперировать.
I have been ill with diabetes since 1987. In 2002, vascular pathology caused unpleasant accomplishments, like long healing ulcers, a burst of a thigh vessel, a hematoma appeared, it got rotten and had to be operated on. After operation period proved very hard. The matter is that the wound didn't get healed. So, I spent nearly 4 months in hospital. It was very difficult to stand up on my feet. They got swollen very quickly, and all it was very painful. Skin stretching, burning pain. That is why, naturally, my mobility was very limited. As a result, to be more exact, 3 months after the operation, I could stay on my feet no more than 1 hour and a half or 2 hours. To make things worse, my legs got swollen, and the recovery in each case was very slow. It took about 3 days. Now, after a 10-day course of treatment, I can stay on my feet for about 10 to 12 hours. My legs get swollen a little, of course, but what makes it peculiar is that they quickly get recovered. That is within the following night. In the morning I can practically walk all right. Besides, during these 10 days I gave up my crutches. Now I walk with a walking stick, which is more of habit than necessity. Moreover, my general condition has improved. My digestion has improved. My eyesight has improved, because previously I suffered serious hemorrhage of retina. My vision was blurred and I couldn't see. Now the blurs have partially disappeared, and in general, my general condition is now continuously getting better.
Были пятна в поле зрения, которые не видели. Сейчас частично они даже исчезли. Ну и в общем общее состояние постоянно сейчас.
Rheumatic arthritis. I have been ill since 1990. I took prednisolone, diclofenac, had to take 4 tablets of indomethacin. Before my arrival here to the doctor, I stayed for a month in the regional hospital, took prednisolone intravenously and diclofenac intramuscular injections and tablets. When I arrived to the doctor, I had a bad sore leg. I took diclofenac, 2 tablets in the morning and 1 in the evening. Now I am taking only 1 tablet of Dolavan. Of course, I feel better. Pain in the joints, in my shoulders, in my arms, in my elbows has eased. Agility of joints has improved. I don't run any high temperature now.
Ревматоид номер 3, там болею 10 лет. Принимала диклофенак 150 мг.
I have been ill with rheumatic arthritis for over 10 years. I took diclofenac 150 milligrams. Now I take nothing. In the course of a month-long treatment, pain in the arms has disappeared. I practically don't feel it. The swells of my arms decreased. They can move freely. My shoulder joints have got less constraint, and pain disappeared. The swells of my knees decreased. This knee doesn't hurt anymore, and this one, I can't say it doesn't hurt. It hurts, but not so much. When I started my treatment here, it hurt more. Considering the fact that I don't take diclofenac anymore, the treatment has been quite successful.
Не так, по сравнению с тем, как начала, болела больше. Если считать, что я не принимаю диклофенака, то лечение прошло нормально.
I got ill with rheumatic arthritis 5 weeks ago, took injections of diclofenac with no positive results. I came to Dr. Shirdel's hospital, and on completing a course of treatment, I feel very well. I thank the doctor for curing me. Systemic scleroderma. Patient Christina, 7 years old, has been ill with systemic scleroderma for a year. The disease progressed so fast that in a short time it affected the muscles and skin of her face, back, and lower limbs. As a result of atrophy and cicatrization of skin, her face deformed. The left leg got paralyzed. A month-long course of treatment not only stopped any further progress of the disease, but also reduced the facial asymmetry, regenerated the muscles of the paralyzed leg, reduced the cicatrization of skin on the back. It started with a rash near my mouth. We were told that there wasn't anything serious, that it was just a reaction on some oranges or something else. Last year, she was treated in the City Children's Hospital. We were told that it was nothing dangerous, just dermatitis. We had various tests made every month, and finally the parents were told, "Why are you making all this fuss? Her test results are so good that she can fly into space." It all went on like this till she went to the second form. A doctor examined her and at once determined systemic scleroderma, an incurable disease, no treatment. The disease hasn't been studied properly. I had all that rash here, like on my hands, and now there is nothing. When I arrived here, I thought nothing would help, that it was really incurable, and my hands would remain the way they were after the treatment. And now I am so grateful to you for your help. Disseminated sclerosis. We had a nuclear magnetic resonance made which revealed some inflammation foci, the inflammation of, what do you call it, the brain. Before the treatment, I couldn't see for 2 weeks. I had a terrible doubling of vision. I couldn't walk without help. Our situation was like this. We went to the seaside, and there this doubling of vision appeared, and my eyesight grew worse. The things I saw seemed vague and unclear. A year ago, I had a neuritis of the visual nerve. I took hormones, antibiotics, and non-steroid resolvents. My hearing grew worse too, and the doctors diagnosed a neuritis of the auditory nerves. When I started suffering from doubling of vision, I was made a nuclear magnetic resonance, which revealed demyelinization foci. I applied to Dr. Shirdel. A 30-day treatment proved very effective. My eyesight has been completely restored, and my hearing has got better. I am very grateful to Dr. Shirdel for the treatment I received. I am much better now, much better. I can't speak about a complete restoration of the functions, but I feel wonderful. I am very thankful to the doctor and to all the medical staff for their caring attitude to me. Parkinson's disease. The amount of medicine I take doesn't help me anymore. I mean that all the same the tremor is getting more intense. There suddenly appears some constraint while walking, and I even have to stop in the street and cannot walk anymore. Case study 34. I suffered fits of headache and tremor began. I had to increase the number of pills taken. Now I feel easier. No headache and my movements. Oh yes, I learned to smile again. I took Nexon, 1.5 tablets, and Akinaton, 2.5 tablets a day. In total, I took up to 4 tablets a day. First, I gave up 1 tablet, then 1.5, and now I have given them up completely.
Сначала по одной отменили, потом по 1,5 отменили полностью.
В течение почти 5 лет болею болезнью Паркинсона. Принимала все медикаменты, какие были. Приехала сюда.
For almost 5 years, I was ill with Parkinson's disease. I took all medicines available. When I got here, I stopped taking all those medicines and was treated exclusively with what I was given here. Now I feel better in all respects. No more tremor, dizziness, lack of balance. I can walk freely. When I sat down on my bed, I couldn't raise my leg. Now I can raise it freely.
Когда я садилась на кровать, я не могла поднять ногу. Сейчас я свободна.
Upon familiarizing with the information above, it is obvious that all the methods applied here have proved truly effective and can help eliminate a substantial part of human pathologies. Unfortunately, years pass and people keep dying.